Hello everybody, this is Nick from Arcade Hunters, and I'm bringing you Super Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo. Now, Super Street Fighter 2 originally came out in arcades in the fall of 1993, and it was the first game that used Capcom's CPS-1 hardware, which was one of their standard hardware units that you could pretty much swap the A and B boards out of, and we'll probably get into it with the CPS-2 hardware because there was a lot of faults with that system, but it did produce a lot of great games from Capcom. And one thing that I didn't know about this game after doing some research on it, the arcade version had a game called Tournament Battle. And what you could do with that was you could hook up 4 machines together and play a single elimination tournament battle. And every time one person ended up getting knocked out, it would replace another person in and keep going till you ended up having a winner. I really wish that was in arcades in America, but I guess it was all the rage in Japan when the game came out. Now, this version that you're watching from the Super Nintendo came out in the summer of '94, so unlike Turbo, we didn't have to wait that long to get our home version of this game. And pretty much for the home version, it runs pretty good. It kind of goes back to the speed that it had in Champion Edition rather than the really fast speed that they had given out in Turbo. And the biggest thing that they obviously added are the 4 new characters. And if you don't know who the 4 characters are, you have Cammy from England, Fei Long from Hong Kong, T-Hawk from Mexico, and DJ from Jamaica. So that added up to the roster for 16 playable characters that you could use. And this is really when they started making Ken and Ryu different from each other. What they did with Ken is not only did his Hurricane Kick hit multiple times rather than Ryu that kind of hits you once and really does a lot of damage. Ken's Hard Dragon Punch started where he lit you on fire and would hit you up to 3 times. Ryu had a new red fireball that he could shoot out that was used as kind of like, I guess, an homage to the regular version of Street Fighter, where sometimes instead of a blue Hadouken, he would come out with a red one, and people thought there was like a special way you could do it, and I remember people saying, "Why do you make the red fireball?" But that was pretty much, I forget, they actually said something about there being a glitch in the system. And Chun-Li's fireball that they gave her in the last version in Turbo was changed to a charge attack rather than a quarter circle, and Zangief was given his Atomic Buster, or as a lot of people like to call it, the Green Hand, which worked really good for getting at fireball characters that would try to keep you at a distance. Now, I'm using Guile on the screen because he ended up getting the shaft because Street Fighter 2 added in a new announcer, and he sucks. And as you can hear from Guile, he's Sonic Boom. Doesn't sound very good. A lot of people called him Big Bird, and thankfully they rectified it in Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix. And Ken was also given a new announced voice. So here is Super Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo, and we'll be right back with Street Fighter Alpha 2, also on the Super Nintendo. Thanks for watching.